China just tightened export controls on rare earth metals that powers motors, magnets, and robotics. Most car makers saw that headline and panicked, but not Tesla. Check this out.
Talk to me about your thesis. So as we see a rare earth crackdown where China's trying to limit the exports of rare earths to the U.S., you say Tesla's the best position to deal with that because they do about 40% of their deliveries in China.
Yeah, I mean, look, it speaks to why they made such a big bet on China, with Gigafactory in Shanghai. This is going to really, I think, insulate them. When you look at the raw materials, look, that right now, I mean, that's the biggest worry in autos. And even when you think about things like, Optimus and robots, but for Tesla, they're in a very good position of strength here. As well as also, you're seeing delivery strength in China, and that's what they're betting on. And I think you're seeing a comeback here. A big part of this $2 trillion, ultimately bull case $3 trillion thesis is the China story for Tesla.
Okay. Even though 40% of the deliveries are in China, the other 60% are around the world. A big portion of those are right here in the U.S. Are there concerns about increasing cost of rare earths, potentially impacting margins? And also, the company just announced a lineup of lower cost vehicles. How do you see it impacting that lineup?
Yeah, look, it's a concern. I mean, Frank, if you think about it, I mean, the price points probably would have been, called 4,000 or 5,000 lower. I mean, they gave themselves flexibility given increasing prices, but also they do have an advantage in the U.S. because in the U.S., given, you look at the vast majority of that is produced in U.S. parts, so they're not really exposed like some others relative to tariffs and some others. And I think right now, when you look overall globally, Tesla right now is in the best position, but it continues to be the AI play. Because when you think about autonomous and robotics, that's going to be the key to the valuation that I think continues to go higher. Raw materials, I don't view that as really putting any dent in what I view as what's going to be one of the biggest AI growth stories for over the next decade.
All right, really quickly, I want to go back to those lower cost vehicles. The last time Tesla reported deliveries was about 497,000. You say the lower cost cars get them up to about 600,000 vehicles in deliveries per quarter, but you didn't give a time frame. So when do these lower cost vehicles accelerate these deliveries?
I think by first half 2026. So I think this is something that's really going to have a significant impact for Tesla, as well as what you're seeing really in this China rebound. So, you look at these low-cost vehicles, that's going to give them added sort of, what I think the biggest metric right now is, can you get above 500,000? I think this is going to enable them to get above 600,000. And that's why right now I see bright days ahead for Tesla. It's a table pounder, in my opinion. I think $600 is conservative, in terms of where I see the stock going over the next year.
All right, here's kind of the fun part. We're going to show some video of the Optimus robot, but it's not all fun and games when it comes to this robot, because you say production of this robot could actually be negatively impacted by these rare earth restrictions. Talk to me about that. When you're saying it's going to be impacted, would that slow down the ability of the company to produce them? Would it slow down their ability to, increase the cost? Like, what would be the impact in your mind that you see as separate from the cars?
Yeah, and look, Musk has talked about it. I mean, that's probably, if you think about over the next year, I mean, that is, Optimus is going to be the game changer for Tesla. I don't think that this is going to in any way change the mass volume for 2026, but could it delay things? Yeah. And that's why for Tesla, I mean, Musk, he's really 10% politician, 90% CEO relative to what he's done in China, needing to make sure that this doesn't in any way dent either autonomous, cybercabs, or Optimus when it comes to robots.
Really quick with Optimus, and we got to go. Is this an industrial robot in your mind, or is it a consumer play? Like, do we have these in our houses doing things?
Yeah. I think it's going to be industrial in terms of factories, but I think it's going to be consumers. When it comes to humanoid robots, this is going to be the wave of the future, and that's why it's my view, Tesla. When it comes to physical AI plays, there's the godfather of AI, Jensen, NVIDIA, and then there's Tesla. And I think it's probably the most undervalued AI play in the market, in my opinion.
Most Western analysts frame China as a liability, but Tesla built a factory network there precisely for this moment, to anchor supply while others are scrambling for materials. When you're already integrated into the local ecosystem, export rules hit slower and lighter. Tesla doesn't rely on shipping every component across oceans. They build local, nimble, and robust supply chains, which are respected in the countries they build in. And there's also a diplomatic dimension. Elon understood early that to build at scale, you partner, not posture, and that's paying off. Where legacy automakers are still negotiating entry into China, Tesla's running at full speed inside the world's largest EV market. And on the other side of the Pacific, Tesla's home advantage has quietly strengthened. Tesla assembles their cars in America, uses mostly domestic parts, and fits neatly into the Trump administration manufacturing incentives. Tariffs aimed at foreign EVs raise the hurdles for competitors, but leaves Tesla still standing. And then we have the conversation about affordable models. Tesla's now in a phase where design, software, and battery tech are efficient enough to serve new pricing tiers profitably. That's a delicate balance, and it looks like Tesla is managing it beautifully. More models means broader adoption, and every new owner joins a data network feeding autonomy. Each sale is both a car and a sensor node for Tesla's autonomous division. Dan nails it, and in my opinion is one of the few that gets it when he calls Tesla an AI play. Autonomy is no longer a side project, it's the software stack that trains every vehicle to drive smarter. Each mile driven improves the fleet, and every improvement compounds Tesla's lead. Competitors are still uploading test data manually, meanwhile Tesla's teaching its system in real time. There's a data gap between Tesla and the rest which is exponentially growing. Then, of course, comes a part a lot of people are still underestimating. Optimus is a manufacturing evolution. Imagine robots building cars, then stepping into other industries like logistics, healthcare, and even home assistance. Dan calls this the next growth pillar, and I believe he's right. Tesla's turning neural networks into limbs and motors. And that is where the trillions narrative makes sense. Now back onto rare earth metals. This is where we have seen Wall Street panic. Ives, I don't think has, and I'm quite confident too. Tesla's already announced a shift to drive units that's dropped rare earth metals completely, re-engineering the motor itself to dodge geopolitical friction. It's classic Elon Musk, solve the root problem, not the symptom. So while others are debating shortages, Tesla's designs around them, the rare earth clampdown becomes a temporary headline and not a structural threat to Tesla. Every big inflection in tech history comes when execution outruns narrative. That's what we're seeing here. Headlines are saying there's risk, and the fundamentals at Tesla are saying to me resilience. The more friction the world throws, the more Tesla adapts, automates, and scales. Think about the pattern. Gigafactory Shanghai stabilizes local production. Lower cost vehicles expand reach. Autonomy builds a software moat. Robots redefine what a manufacturing company even is. Each layer adds optionality. Multiple revenue engines built on a single ecosystem. Tesla's story isn't about avoiding risk, it's about mastering it. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, why not consider hitting subscribe?